Hi, I'm Tara Duguay. I'm a graduate student at the University of Texas at Tyler and getting my master's of education in reading. And Dr. Mokhtari has asked me to put together a short video that will help you to learn how to put together your portfolio that you're going to present at the end of your master's degree program. So I'm going to show you and tell you some important things that you want to remember when you're building your portfolio. This portfolio, you are going to defend your portfolio at the end of your 2-year program, but you do not want to start on your portfolio at the end of the program. You want to start on your portfolio the very first semester that you enroll in the Master's in Reading program. So I'm going to share my screen with you here, and we're going to look through my portfolio and a couple other portfolios so we can get an idea of how to create a professional and polished portfolio that you're going to use for your defense. And also, you may want to use this for prospective employers in the future when you're trying to get a job at a school district. So let's look at some portfolios. Let's see. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the Canvas login where you have your courses, and you're going to log into Canvas. Okay. Right here under courses, it's going to show you all of your courses. You're going to click on ORG Master of Education in Reading. And so that's going to take you right here to the modules that are going to help you prepare a professional and polished portfolio. You're going to click on modules, and you'll see that it says portfolio guide and samples. So right here under portfolio guide and samples, there is a portfolio guide. There are tips on how to do a good portfolio. You're going to be using a program called Wix. This video will not explain how to do Wix. When you get onto Wix and you explore it for yourself, you'll be able to figure out in the 2 years that you have to do your portfolio, how to upload your documents and how to, use Wix. There are sample portfolios, your final portfolio submission. This is a link to put your final portfolio in so that your professors can view it. And then this right here, this link, you don't have to upload anything here because you're not going to upload a separate presentation. So let's get started looking at the portfolio guide. The portfolio guide tells you everything that you need to know about preparing a well-done, professional, polished portfolio, something that you'll be proud to present at the end of your 2-year preparatory program for literacy educators. So this is going to tell you what your literacy educator portfolio is. What kinds of things are you going to include in your portfolio? Who is going to look at your portfolio and why it's important? The main reason that you're doing a portfolio is because you need to demonstrate at the end of your 2-year program that you have met the International Literacy Association standards for this preparatory program. You need to show that you've done the work that you were supposed to do and that you are an educated literacy professional. So the program follows these standards: foundational knowledge, curriculum and instruction, assessment and evaluation, diversity and equity, learners in the literacy environment, professional learning and leadership, and you will have a practicum or clinical experience. And so those are the guidelines that you're going to try to follow, or the standards that you're going to follow when you're doing your projects. Now, you don't have to worry too much about when you're doing your projects if they meet these standards, because your courses are designed by your professors to meet these standards. Your professors have designed the courses to meet the ILA standards, and so if you do the projects in the way that your instructor is guiding you, you will have good pieces, good projects, good assignments that will demonstrate that you're proficient and you've met these standards. Something that was really helpful for me when I was looking at this guide right here is, let's see. Right here, there's a paragraph here. This really was meaningful to me when I was preparing my portfolio because it gave me the knowledge to know what was I doing this portfolio for. It really helped me to reflect on, what I was putting in my portfolio. It says the goal of this portfolio is for you to see the big picture relative to your professional learning and experiences throughout the program. and to show how your performance in the program meets or exceeds the expectation of the TEXES and the ILA standards for the preparation of literacy professionals. So you're not only using this portfolio to demonstrate that you've met these standards, you are also using this portfolio to reflect and to learn as you go along in the 2-year program. So let's get started and look at a portfolio. You're going to build your portfolio, like I said, in a program called Wix, Website Builder. So when I click on that, that is going to go to my Wix account because I have an account, and we're going to look at my Wix portfolio. So here's my professional literacy educator portfolio. Now it mentions that you have to have a table of contents. So these are the links that you have to have on your portfolio that take you to show different things that you have to have in your portfolio. For example, you have to have a resume. I have chosen to break my resume down into 2 parts. There is my educational background, and then of course my teaching experience. And I just did that because it would have been kind of overwhelming to put all that on, 1 page. So you can do it however you like. The next thing you're going to have is your goal statement. I suggest you write a preliminary goal statement when you first enroll in the program. And that way you can revise it as you go along. Your goal is just going to tell kind of what you want to be when you grow up. Why are you taking this program? How is it going to further your professional goals? Your degree plan, you want to put that on there, and your philosophy of literacy. It's really important when you're doing your philosophy of literacy, you're going to have 2 statements, an initial statement and a final statement. So it's very important that you write your initial statement at the beginning of the program, and then write your final statement right when you're about to graduate. And you want to do this because you want to show that there's a difference between your initial statement of what you thought about, how children learn to read, and your final statement. That's going to show your professors what you've learned and how you've grown as an educator by, going through this program. The bulk of your portfolio then is going to be documentation. This is where you're going to document how you've met the International Literacy Association standards for the Preparation of Literacy Professionals program at UT Tyler. So here you're going to have all the standards listed, the ILA Standard 1, Foundational Knowledge. And so when you go through your courses, every one of your courses, your professor is going to provide for you an assignment or a project that you're going to do that's going to, you're going to have 1 or 2 big projects that's going to meet 1 or more of these standards. And so when I took my very first class, Read 5301, Literacy, Language, and Culture, I did a project that was called a research synthesis. My project was on the effects of language development and the effects, what are effective oral language strategies. And so I wanted to look at how oral language developed. And so that's foundation, right? That's a foundation to later literacy and reading success. So I put this as documentation that I had met the foundational knowledge standard. So when you get done your project, you're going to do a project for your professor. You're going to turn it in. They're going to, help you revise it. They're going to give you ideas, your colleagues and your teacher. And then you're going to upload it as an artifact. You're going to make a link and you're going to upload your document. Okay. And there's the document. Okay. Now, as soon as you finish your project, you want to do something called a reflection. You do not want to wait until the end of the 2-year program to write reflections on all of your projects. If you wait too long to write your reflection, you're not going to remember what you learned. You're not going to remember how it was meaningful to you when you were doing the work. So you want to write your reflection right after you do the project. So here are some tips then for writing a good reflection. When you write a reflection, you want to think about how does this project or this assignment meet the standard. You want to think about what you learned when you were completing the project. How have you grown as an educator in doing this project? What has it taught you? How have you broadened your schema as an educator? And thirdly, you want to think about how you can apply what you've learned to your goals, to your professional goals. How are you going to use what you've learned in your future as a literacy professional, as a literacy coach, as a PhD student in a PhD program, as a literacy interventionist, whatever your goals are. Now, when you do the projects, they're not going to go in order, meaning that your very first project and your very first class is not going to meet foundational knowledge. It might, but it may not. It might meet a different standard. Your second one is not going to be, you know, the next one you put. For example, when I took, the next class that I took was 5302. And so I did a project, I did a 4-week lesson plan for pre-K 3. So here's my class, read 5302, Issues in Teaching Literacy Using Child and Adolescent Literature. And so I did this 4-week project, 4-week lesson plan for pre-K 3. And my themes were being kind, family, feelings, and friendship. So this project actually met the standard for diversity and equity. And then again, I uploaded my project here, the link to my project. When you get finished and you have your paper all done, you're gonna put a link. I don't like how it does that. And then you're going to write your reflection. Again, when you're writing your reflection, you want to think about, you know, how does my project meet the standard? What did I learn? How have I grown? And how am I going to use this, what I've learned, you know, as a professional literacy educator? And so again, they're not going to go in order. You're just going to place them. You're going to have to do 2 artifacts or 2 projects for each standard. So since there are 7 standards, that would be 14 projects, but you only actually need 1 for the last one. You will have 3 links on your last one because you are going to upload videos from your practicum, and there are my videos. However, it will still be 1 project. You won't have to do 3 projects for that particular standard. Now, one other thing that I want to show you real quick, and this is not something that's required, this is just something that I did because I was thinking, you know, what if I use this, this portfolio to show to prospective employers. So some of your professors, after you turn in your project, they will also want you, you know, in addition to your paper project, in addition to that, they will also want you to do something, they will want you to upload a presentation.
My name is Tara Duguay, and I am a pre-K 3 teacher. Tell me what she was writing about. My second student said.
So this is just a PowerPoint of my project that I presented to my professor. And I uploaded these because I thought, you know, if someone's looking at my portfolio, they might be more interested in watching a short video of my project rather than reading a 23-page paper. Or if they watch the video and it interests them, they might be interested in reading the 23-page paper. So again, this is not something that's required. It's just something that might make your portfolio more interesting to prospective employers or to your professors. I want you to know that your professors at UT Tyler are very interested in your growth, okay? They are passionate about your success, and they want to make sure that you learn and that you grow as an educator. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact any of your professors and ask them questions. And I wish you best wishes, and hope you have a wonderful time in this literacy professional program. Thank you for listening.